The stone curse falls. The alien market was loud and full of color. Creatures from many worlds moved through the stalls, buying and selling strange things. In the middle of all this, a human named Jack walked slowly, looking around. He was not there to shop. He was just curious. Jack worked as a repairman for ships, and he liked to see new machines and tools. But today, something else pulled his attention to the corner of the market. Near an old statue booth, Jack saw a young alien girl. She was tall and slim, with greenish-blue skin that shimmered under the twin suns. Her eyes were large and bright, but they looked scared. She seemed lost or nervous. Jack felt strange when he looked at her. It was like he had seen her before, but he knew he hadn't. The girl looked around, panicking. She clutched a silver pendant in her hand. Her breathing was fast. Then her eyes locked with Jack's. For a moment, everything became quiet. The market sounds faded. Jack could hear nothing but the beat of his heart. The girl opened her mouth. She said something soft. Maybe it was his name. Suddenly, a bright flash of blue light burst from her body. A loud crack echoed through the air. The crowd screamed and ran. When the light faded, the girl was no longer moving. Jack stood frozen. In front of him was a perfect statue. It looked just like her. The same eyes, the same pose. But now she was made of smooth gray stone. Guards rushed in and pushed Jack away. They shouted and checked for danger. Everyone thought she had used some kind of weapon or cursed item. But Jack knew something was wrong. She didn't attack anyone. She had been scared. They questioned Jack, but found nothing on him. He was let go after a few hours. Still, something inside him didn't let go of the image of her stone face. Her eyes had been full of fear. And that whisper, it had sounded like she was calling to him. That night, Jack couldn't sleep. He closed his eyes and saw her face. The stone version, frozen with a silent scream. Then something happened. He heard a voice. A whisper. A girl's voice. Soft. Help me. Jack opened his eyes, gasping. No one was in the room. But he had heard it clearly. The voice came again. Don't leave me. It couldn't be a dream. Jack sat up, breathing hard. He had no special powers. He was just a human. A mechanic. But something was pulling him toward her. Early next morning, Jack returned to the market. The statue had been moved to a trash storage near the guard station. No one wanted it. Some said it was cursed. Others said it was broken tech. Jack waited until no one was around. Then, carefully, he lifted the statue and carried it to his workshop. The statue was heavy but not too much. It was cold and smooth. Jack placed it on a soft mat in his workroom. He looked at it for a long time. Who are you? He asked quietly. What happened to you? Again, there was no answer. But when he touched the pendant still hanging around her neck, he felt a spark. It was warm. Over the next hours, strange things happened. His tools moved slightly by themselves. The lights flickered. The air felt different, like someone was breathing near him. Then, when Jack placed his hand on her stone shoulder, he heard it again. Please, I'm still here. His heart raced. He wasn't crazy. She was alive in there. Somehow, Jack leaned close and spoke. I can hear you. Don't be afraid. I'll help you. There was silence, then a soft reply. Thank you. Jack. He froze. How do you know my name? He asked. The voice didn't answer right away. Then it said, I saw you in my dream. Before the stone took over. Jack sat back. He didn't know what was happening, but one thing was clear. This girl needed help, and no one else cared. She had turned into stone in seconds. She had spoken his name before freezing. And now she was calling to him from inside the stone. Jack didn't understand it yet, but he made a promise to himself. He would not let her stay like this. He didn't know her story or her past, but something deep inside told him she was important. Outside, the stars moved across the sky. But inside the workshop, Jack stayed awake, watching over the statue. Somewhere inside that hard shell, a living soul was trapped. And only he could hear her. The real question now was, why him? And how long did she have before the voice faded? Forever? The answers were hidden in the past. But Jack had just taken the first step into a mystery that would change both their lives. Asterisk a voice from the stone. The night was quiet, but Jack could not rest. His workshop felt different. It was like someone else was there with him, even though he was alone. The statue of the alien girl stood still in the middle of the room, yet something about it made the air feel alive. Jack had seen many strange things in his life, but never anything like this. That he sat across from the statue, watching it. Hours passed. Then suddenly, a soft sound touched his ears. Jack. It was not loud, not even clear, but it was real. He looked up quickly. The statue had not moved, but the voice had come again. Can you hear me? It asked, like a soft wind whispering through his mind. Jack slowly nodded. Yes, he said. I hear you. The voice sounded tired, like it came from far away. I'm still alive, trapped inside. Don't let me disappear. Jack stepped closer and looked into the statue's eyes. They were frozen wide open. But now, they didn't feel empty. They felt like someone was truly behind them. That he touched the cold stone and asked, Who are you? What happened to you? There was a short pause. Then the voice replied, My name is Veela. I'm from Thalner. I didn't mean to turn like this. It happens when I feel too much fear. It's a curse from my ancestors. My body turns to stone, but my mind stays inside. For a little while. Jack was shocked. A living mind trapped inside a statue? How long can you survive like this? I don't know, Veela said weakly. Maybe a few cycles. Maybe less. My thoughts are getting slower. Jack's heart tightened. This girl wasn't just cursed. She was running out of time. He looked at the silver pendant around her neck. It glowed softly now, warm to the touch. What is this? He asked. It's my soul key, Veela said. It holds my life signal. As long as it shines, I'm still inside. Jack knew he had to act. There must be a way to free you, he said. There is, Veela replied slowly. A flower. It grows high in the cold Spine Mountains. White petals, red center. Only that can break the curse. Jack frowned. That place is closed. No one is allowed there. I know, Veela said. But it's the only way. Please, don't leave me like this. Jack didn't answer right away. He walked back and forth, thinking. He had no map of that area. The mountain was dangerous and full of old traps. Even alien drones refused to go there. But he looked at Veela's statue again, and something inside him made the choice for him. I'll go, he said. I don't care how hard it is. I'll bring the flower. The room fell quiet for a moment. Then Veela said something that shook him. I was running away from people who wanted my power. My DNA is rare. It can heal others. But they wanted to use me. I had no one. That's why I was afraid. Jack clenched his fists. She wasn't just cursed. She had been hunted. Used. Alone. Not anymore, he said firmly. You have me now. Veela's voice was soft again. Thank you, Jack. But hurry. I can feel the stone getting colder inside. Jack knew he couldn't waste time. He packed a small bag with water, tools, and a scanner. He placed the glowing pendant in a case, keeping it close to his heart. Then he turned back to the statue one last time. I'll be back, he whispered. Stay strong. As he walked out into the cold night, the stars above him seemed to shine a little brighter. Maybe they were watching. Maybe they knew the path. Ahead was full of danger, but Jack didn't care. He had made a promise to a girl trapped in stone. And nothing in this galaxy could stop him now. Inside the workshop, the stone statue stood silent. But if someone listened closely, very closely, they might still hear her whisper his name. The clock had started ticking, and time was running out. Asterisk the missing flower of Thalner. The mountains looked like broken teeth rising into the sky. Wind howled between the sharp peaks, and snow covered the old paths. Jack stood at the edge of the forbidden zone, holding a small case close to his chest, the one that held Veela's glowing pendant. She was still alive, still waiting, but he didn't know how long she had left. No one came here. The Cold Spine Mountains were known for old dangers, machines from a lost war, strange beasts, freezing storms. Jack had read stories about people who went in and never came out. But he didn't care about the stories. One voice in his mind gave him the strength to walk forward. Jack, are you there? Veela's voice came softly through the pendant. I'm here, he said. I've reached the base of the mountain. I'll find your flower. Veela's voice was weaker now. Be careful. The path tests your heart, not just your feet. Jack took a deep breath and stepped onto the frozen path. His boots sank slightly into the snow, and ice cracked beneath each step. His scanner showed no clear path, but the story said the flower grew near the top, close to the old ruins left by Veela's people long ago. Hours passed. Jack climbed higher and higher. The wind cut through his jacket, and frost formed on his eyelashes. Once, he slipped and nearly fell down a steep cliff. But he kept going, using ropes, hooks, and hope. Suddenly, the scanner beeped. Something was nearby. Jack turned the device and saw a faint energy reading. Just ahead that he hurried toward it, but the land beneath him changed. The snow vanished. The ground turned black and shiny. He had stepped onto an old alien path. Strange. Symbols glowed under his feet. Then the test began. The sky above him flashed, and a huge creature made of light appeared. It looked like a dragon. Its wings spread wide, its eyes glowing red. "You are not of Thalner," the voice boomed. "Why do you seek the sacred bloom?" Jack stood firm. "To save someone. She's trapped. Her name is Veela." The dragon stared. "Many come with lies. Few speak with truth. Are you ready to pay the price?" "What price?" Jack asked. "Fear," the dragon said. "You must face your deepest fear. Only then will the flower reveal itself." Before Jack could ask anything more, the world around him vanished. Suddenly, he was back in his childhood home. Everything was dark. His father shouted. His mother cried. He remembered this day. It was the day he ran away. "You're weak, Jack. You'll never matter." The voice of his father echoed Jack's. Hands trembled. His heart pounded. The old pain returned, but this time, something changed. He remembered Veela's voice. Her fear. Her hope. "I'm not that boy anymore," Jack said. "I matter to someone now. She needs me." The illusion cracked. The dragon's shape broke into pieces. And in its place, a small white flower with a red center floated in the air. The missing flower of Thalner. Jack reached out with shaking hands and took it. It was warm, glowing, alive. Suddenly, the mountains shook. An alarm sounded. Old defense systems woke from sleep. Veela's voice cried out from the pendant. "Jack, what's happening?" "I've got it," he said. "I'm on my way back." Metal. Turrets rose from the snow. Red eyes blinked. Jack ran. Lasers fired. He jumped behind a rock. The wind screamed louder. His jacket burned in one spot, but he kept going. He slid down icy paths, using his arms to steer. Trees rushed by as he crashed through a frozen forest. A flying drone chased him. Jack threw a rock at it, knocking it off course. It hit a tree and exploded. He didn't stop running until he saw the edge of the mountain. His ship waited far below. Veela's voice came again, weak and slow. "Jack, I'm fading. Hold on," he shouted. "I have the flower. I'm coming." With his last bit of strength, he jumped into his ship and started the engine. It lifted off as snow and fire rained from the mountain. He flew fast, holding the flower close, its glow steady. He had faced his fears. He had survived the traps. He had found the one thing that could save her, but deep in his heart, he feared. One thing. What if he was already too late? Asterisk whispers in the dark. The flower glowed softly inside Jack's pack as his ship raced through the sky. But his thoughts were not calm. He kept looking at the silver pendant. Its light had dimmed. Veela's voice was barely a whisper now. Time was running out. He landed outside his workshop and ran inside, carrying the glowing flower in one hand and the pendant in the other. The statue of Veela still stood there, silent, still, cold. But something felt different. The air was heavy, like the room itself was holding its breath. Jack placed the flower in a small glass chamber. He had built it while thinking about this moment. The energy from the flower needed to be controlled, directed carefully. One mistake could destroy everything. That he connected wires, tubes, and a small power cell. His fingers moved quickly, but his mind was full of doubt. He had never worked with anything like this. What if he failed? "Jack," a voice called, so soft he almost didn't hear it. "I'm here," he said quickly. "I have the flower. Veela, just hold on." Her reply came slower than before. "I can't feel my mind." Jack pressed a button. The chamber lit up, and the flower began to pulse. A red and white light filled the room. Then he carefully placed the chamber near Veela's statue and activated the energy flow. The light touched her stone skin. A strange sound echoed, a crack, low and sharp. Jack stepped back. Veela's fingers moved. It was only for a second. But it was real. The light wrapped around her body. Cracks formed across her stone arms. Her face changed. The stone faded from her cheeks, revealing soft green skin beneath. Jack smiled. "It's working." But then everything stopped. The chamber sparked. The lights flickered. The machine beeped once and shut down. "No, no, no!" Jack shouted. He ran to the controls, checking wires and power. But nothing responded. He looked back at Veela. She was not fully stone now. but not fully alive either. One arm hung loosely. Her eyes were half open. She blinked once. Slowly. "Jack," she whispered. Her real voice, not just in his mind. He rushed to her side. "I'm here. You're back." Almost her body shook. Her skin glowed faintly, but her other half, still stone, pulled her down. "I can't move. It hurts," she said weakly. Jack held her hand, the one that was free. "You're going to be okay. I'll fix it." But Veela looked afraid. "It's not just pain. It's the memories. They're coming back." "What memories?" he asked. "The people who hunted me. The ones who wanted my DNA. I escaped them, but they marked me. That's why I turned to stone. I was afraid. So afraid." Jack listened carefully. She had not just been cursed. She had been running for her life. "I don't want to go back to them," Veela said, tears forming in her one working eye. "They'll find me." "They won't," Jack said firmly. "I'll protect you." But even as he spoke, he noticed something blinking on the workshop monitor, an energy signal. Unknown and getting closer. "They already know," Veela whispered. "They tracked me through the pendant." Jack's heart dropped. "How long?" "Minutes," she said. "Maybe less." Jack jumped into action. He locked the doors, powered up his shields, and prepared old weapons. He had built defenses for his ship, but not his workshop. Still, he would fight if he had to. Veela's voice came again. "If they take me, I'll turn to stone again. Forever." This time, Jack stared at her, half alive, half stone. She had trusted him. She had called his name in fear. Now it was his turn to do something brave. "I'm not letting them touch you," he said. Outside, the wind changed. Lights appeared in the sky. 3 ships. Fast. Armed. Ready. But Jack wasn't scared anymore. He had gone through the mountain. He had faced a dragon of fear. He had brought a dying soul back from stone. Now he just had to hold on a little longer, until he could finish what he started. Veela reached for his hand again. "Don't give up on me." "I won't," Jack whispered. "No matter what comes through that sky, I'll keep you safe." Asterisk half stone. Half alive, she was no longer a full statue, but not fully alive either. One side of Veela's body moved gently, her fingers curling around Jack's hand. The other side remained frozen, stone from shoulder to foot. Her eyes blinked. Slowly, like it hurt to even be awake. Jack had never seen anything like it. One half of her skin was soft, glowing with life. The other was gray and cold. She looked like 2 people merged into one, alive and trapped at the same time. "I feel heavy," Veela whispered. "Like I'm stuck between 2 worlds." Jack gently placed a blanket over her. He sat beside her, never letting go of her hand. "You're not alone anymore," he said softly. "You've come halfway back. We'll get you the rest of the way." Veela shook her head. "I don't know if there's time. I can feel my thoughts slowing again." Jack stood and walked to his tools. He had to work fast. The flower's energy had run out, but maybe it could be boosted. He connected wires, tested battery cores, and adjusted the chamber. He wasn't a healer. He wasn't a scientist. But he was a fixer. Machines, systems, problems, he fixed them. All. And now, he would fix this. Behind him, Veela tried to speak. "Jack, do you think I'll ever be normal again?" He turned and looked into her half-living eyes. "You already are. You're alive. You feel. You speak. You care. That's what makes someone real, not how they look." Veela smiled just a little. That tiny smile gave Jack more hope than any machine ever had. He got back to work, building a special energy chamber. This one would use the leftover power from the flower, plus something new, a mix of human tech and alien design. It had to be perfect. If it failed, she might turn to stone again forever. As he worked, he asked questions about her people. Veela explained that her kind were born with stone fear, a deep reaction to extreme trauma. Their bodies didn't shut down, they hardened. Most were healed by family or healers. But Veela had no one. She had been on the run for too long. "That day in the market," she said, her voice weak. "I thought someone was coming to take me again. That's why I changed. But when I saw your face, I wasn't scared. I was just tired." Jack nodded. "I was scared too. But I stayed. Maybe we were both looking for someone." Just then, the alarm flashed. One of the alien ships was getting close. Jack checked the screen. They had landed nearby and were scanning for life signals. "They're searching," he said. "They're coming for you." Veela's eyes widened. "If they take me, they'll drain my DNA and sell it. I'll become a product. Jack's stomach turned. Not while I'm breathing. He moved Veela gently into the energy chamber and sealed it. Shut. The glow from the flower returned. Mixed with a soft blue light from the human power core, Veela's body trembled inside the chamber. Her stone leg twitched. Her voice came through the speaker. It's working. Jack. I feel the rest of me waking up. Jack smiled but didn't relax. The outer sensors showed movement. 3 figures moving toward the building. He picked up his old defense gun and placed more traps around the workshop. He didn't know how long he could hold them off, but he only needed time. Minutes passed. Then Veela spoke again. Her voice was clear now, strong. Jack. I remember everything. My people, my past, my powers. Jack turned to look at her. The stone was gone from her shoulder. It had reached her waist. Her whole body was changing, healing. Veela closed her eyes. I'm almost whole again, but I feel something else. A pulse. A power inside me. Jack stared. What kind of power? The kind they were hunting me for, she said. But I won't run anymore. Just then, the door exploded. Alien agents stepped in, tall and cold. They pointed weapons at Jack. Step aside, one said. The girl belongs to us. Jack didn't move. No, she doesn't. Not anymore. The agent raised his gun. And then, the chamber burst open with light. Veela stepped out. Fully alive. Fully glowing. Her skin shimmered with green energy, and her eyes burned like stars. You wanted my power? She said, her voice echoing through the room. Then feel it. She raised her hand. A wave of energy knocked the agents back, slamming them against the walls. Sparks flew. Smoke filled the air. Jack blinked in shock. You did that. Veela turned to him, smiling fully for the first time. No more running. No more fear. He walked up to her. Welcome back, Veela. But she looked down. Her body shook again. The power's unstable, she whispered. If I can't control it, I might turn to stone again. Asterisk, they want her back. The air inside the workshop still buzzed with leftover energy. The alien agents lay unconscious. On the floor, smoke drifted through the room, and the machines near the walls sparked and hummed with static. But Jack wasn't looking at any of that. His eyes were on Veela. She stood in the middle of the room, alive, whole, glowing. Her skin no longer showed any stone. Her body moved freely now. But her breath was heavy, her hands trembling. A strange glow ran across her arms and chest like a pulse. Her powers were real, powerful, and wild. I feel like fire is crawling inside me, Veela whispered. It won't stop. Jack stepped forward. Your energy's out of control? Veela nodded, her face tight with pain. I've never used it before. I always try to hide it. But now it's awake. Jack didn't waste time. He moved quickly to the machines and grabbed a stabilizer chip. If we can absorb the extra energy, we might stop the reaction. You just need time to calm your system. But time was the one thing they didn't have. Outside, the scanners lit up again. A new signal. A larger ship had entered the zone. It wasn't just another agent team. It was them. The ones who wanted Veela for her DNA. The ones she had escaped from. They're here, Jack said quietly. Veela looked up sharply. No, not them. Not again. Jack checked the screen. The ship was already sending out a message. Return subject 46 immediately, or we will extract by force. Veela turned pale. That's what they called me, subject 46. Not a person. A test. Jack placed a hand on her shoulder. You're not a subject. You're Veela. And you're not going back. But they'll come inside. And if I lose control again. She looked at her hands, glowing bright. I might hurt you, Jack. I can't. You won't hurt me, he said. I trust you. Alarms suddenly blared. The larger ship fired a signal blast that shut down Jack's shield grid. Lights flickered. The outer doors cracked under pressure. They're trying to break through, Jack said. He quickly grabbed his toolkit and opened the stabilizer panel again. If I can attach this core to your body, it might absorb enough of the energy to help you stay in control. Veela didn't hesitate. Do it. Jack worked fast. Wires connected to a small chip. He placed it on her back, just below her neck. The moment it touched her skin, the glow around her pulsed, then slowed. The light stopped flashing wildly. Her breathing calmed. I think it's working, she said, but the moment of peace didn't last. The outer doors burst open. Soldiers in black armor stormed in, weapons raised. Jack stood in front of Veela, arms wide. You're not taking her. The lead soldier pointed. You don't understand what she is. That girl carries the cure to dozens of diseases. Her blood can regrow limbs. Her DNA is priceless. She's not a product. Jack shouted. She's a person. The soldier ignored him. Move, or we'll move you. Before Jack could reply, Veela stepped forward. I'm tired of being hunted, she said, her voice cold and steady. I will never be your test subject again. She lifted her hand. The glow began again, but this time, it was under control that a shield of light formed around her and Jack. The soldiers fired. Their shots bounced off the shield, falling uselessly to the ground. Jack stared. You can control it now? Veela nodded. I don't know for how long. But yes. She walked forward, light swirling around her. Leave now, she told the soldiers, or I will turn your ship to dust. The lead soldier hesitated. He had never seen anything like this. Then, he gave the signal to retreat. They pulled back, dragging their injured team with them. The larger ship flew off into the sky. Defeated, silence filled the room again. Jack looked at Veela, amazed. You just saved us both. Veela didn't smile. She looked down at her hands again. But the power is still growing. I feel it. If it explodes, I won't just turn to stone. I'll take everything with me. Jack took her hand. Then we'll stop it. Together. She looked at him, her voice trembling. But what if I'm too dangerous? Jack stepped closer. Then I'll still be here. Right beside you. Whatever happens. For the first time, Veela looked at him not with fear, but with hope. Yet inside her chest, the strange pulse beat faster. Something had changed. Something was still coming. Asterisk only love breaks the stone. Veela stood at the edge of the broken door, her glowing body facing the dark sky. The soldiers were gone. The ship had left. But Jack knew it wasn't over. The danger outside had passed, but something inside her was still growing, and fast. Jack stepped beside her. Your power, it's still rising, isn't it? Veela nodded, tears in her eyes. It feels like a storm inside me. A wave I can't hold back much longer. Jack took her hands in his. Then we find a way to calm it. There has to be a way. But Veela looked at him with sadness. There is a way, but it means I leave forever. Jack's chest tightened. What do you mean? I can't stay here. My energy is connected to this world now. It will break things if I lose control. The only way to stop the storm is to let myself return to stone. No, Jack said quickly. You just got your life back. I won't let you lose it again. Veela looked at the floor. I'm scared, Jack. I don't want to disappear. But I don't want to hurt you either. You're the only one who ever saw me as a person. Jack stepped closer. His voice was soft. I saw you because you let me. Even when you were stone, I heard your voice. I felt your heart. That wasn't power. That was you, Veela. The workshop lights flickered again. The machines buzzed louder. Her skin pulsed with light. I can't hold it anymore, she whispered. Jack, you need to run. No, he said. If you go, I go with you. You'll die, she cried. Then I die next to someone worth dying for. Her breath caught in her throat. Why would you do that? Jack smiled gently. Because I care. I don't need you to be perfect. I just need you to be here. With me. The light around her began to rise, spinning like a storm. The walls shook. The machine sparked. Her eyes filled with tears. I'm sorry. Then Jack did something she didn't expect. He stepped closer and wrapped his arms around her glowing body. She gasped. Jack, you'll. But he held her tighter. You're not a weapon. You're not a danger. You're not alone. Her power rose, then froze. Like time itself stopped. The glowing lines on her body dimmed. The storm slowed. The heat cooled. The stone inside her began to melt away. Not by force, not by tech, not by power, but by something deeper. Veela blinked in shock. It's stopping. Why is it stopping? Jack whispered. Maybe it wasn't fear that turned you to stone. Maybe it was loneliness. Maybe love is the only thing that can break the curse. For the first time, Veela leaned into him fully. Her glow faded into a soft shimmer. The pulse slowed. The workshop grew quiet again. And then, it was over. Veela stood, completely normal. No glow. No stone. No curse. Just a girl. Alive. Free. She looked at Jack, shaking her head in disbelief. You did it. You saved me. Jack laughed a little. No, Veela. We saved each other. She looked around the broken workshop and sighed. What happens now? Jack looked at the stars outside. We rebuild. We rest. We live. But they'll come again, she said. Maybe others. I'll always be different. Jack grinned. Good. Different is better. And you're not facing it alone anymore. Veela smiled, truly this time. It was the kind of smile that came after pain, after fear, after survival. Then let's go somewhere new, she said. Someplace where people like us can just be. Jack nodded. Wherever you go, I go. Together, they walked out into the night. The stars above them sparkled like silent witnesses. A human and an alien girl. Both broken. Both brave. Both beginning again. And as they disappeared into the stars, the old statue in the corner of the workshop crumbled to dust because it was no longer needed. The curse was gone. Love had broken the stone.